Imagine a young girl, just 15, whose life was forever changed. She suffered a tragic loss, was robbed of her innocence, and violated in the most horrific way. Stripped of her hands, she found herself at the brink of despair, longing for release from the unbearable pain. In the shadows lurked a man named Lawrence, a twisted soul driven by his own demons. This journey is one that will send chills down your spine, and if you dare, accompany her to the end to bear witness to her triumphant tale. The story begins in the tumultuous world of the 1960s. There was a spirited young woman named Mary Vinson, hailing from the dazzling city of Las Vegas. She was no stranger to the twists and turns of fate. Born to strict parents, her upbringing was far from ordinary. Her father, a grease-stained mechanic, spent his days tinkering with engines, while her mother, a multitasking marvel, served her country in the military and dealt cards on the side. But Mary's story wasn't just about her parents, it was about her dreams too. Oh, how she yearned to dazzle the world as a competitive dancer spinning and twirling under the spotlight. As a teenager, Mary rebelled, cutting classes and running away from home at 15 to live with an older boyfriend, but her refuge was shattered when he was arrested for assault. Mary returned to Las Vegas and sought stability with her grandparents in Corona, California. It was the year 1978 when Mary's path intersected with a notorious character, Lawrence Bernard Singleton. Hitchhiking was risky, yet Mary and two companions stood by the freeway, seeking rides to their destinations. Emerging silently came Lawrence, a seemingly harmless 50-year-old man driving a blue van. He appeared like a kindly grandfather, but his selective choice to offer Mary a ride, ignoring the other hitchhikers, sent shivers down their spines.
And when the man pulled up, they noticed he had an empty van. There was nothing in the back, but he said he only had room for one person.
Lawrence's past remained a mystery, hidden in the shadows, but one thing was clear. He was no ordinary sea merchant from Tampa, Florida. Even his brother Walter distanced himself from Lawrence, disowning him from the family tree. Little did anyone suspect that Lawrence's true, chilling nature would be unveiled through his future actions. Trapped in darkness, Mary's nightmare unfolds. Disregarding the warnings shared among her fellow hitchhikers, Mary chose to take a leap of faith and accepted Lawrence's offer. Exhausted from her journey and desperate for stability, she brushed aside any lingering doubts. As they embarked on their venture, Mary sneezed and reached for a cigarette, only to be taken aback when Lawrence unexpectedly touched her back. Who did this stranger think he was, invading her personal space? Mary's instincts kicked in, and she instinctively pulled away, creating a physical barrier between them. Sensing her unease, Lawrence refocused on the road. Fatigued from the day's events, Mary drifted into an uneasy sleep. When she woke up, disoriented, she realized they were headed in the wrong direction. Panic surged through her veins and she demanded Lawrence to turn the car around. Agreeing, Lawrence proposed a quick pit stop for a bathroom break. Little did Mary know that this innocent request would lead her down a harrowing path. Lawrence veered off the beaten path, parking the van in the secluded area, leaving Mary alone and vulnerable. At that moment, her senses heightened, and she couldn't shake off the danger lurking in the air. As she knelt down to tie her untied shoelaces, fate dealt a cruel blow. Without warning, Lawrence swung a sledgehammer, striking Mary with a brutal force that left her unconscious. When she regained consciousness, she found herself trapped in a nightmarish reality. Naked and tightly bound, she lay defenseless in the depths of Lawrence's van, her liberty snatched away instantly. The vehicle's wheels propelled them towards a forsaken canyon, where the true monstrous essence of Lawrence unfurled. As the night enveloped them, Mary was subjected to unspeakable terrors, pushing her spirit to its breaking point. Agonizing pain coursed through her, and she clung desperately to the faint flickers of hope that dared to linger. She pleaded with Lawrence for answers, yearning to grasp the twisted motivations behind his malevolence. But he remained silent, reveling in his sickening dominion. People like Lawrence Singleton showcase the cruel natures that exist in the world, reminding us of the importance of raising awareness about such atrocities. If you want to delve deeper into eye-opening stories like this and stay informed about similar incidents worldwide, hit the subscribe button below. And if you're courageous enough, stick to the next part without blinking. The final act of cruelty, Mary's unimaginable ordeal. As dawn began to break, Mary pleaded for her release, her pleas falling on deaf ears. A final act of cruelty, Lawrence cut her loose, pulling her out of the van, and taunted her with a menacing hatchet in hand. In a cruel act of sadism, Lawrence attacked Mary's right hand first and then the left one, repeatedly striking it until it too was severed. Her desperate thrash and piercing screams filled the air, but Lawrence was unsatisfied, dragging her towards a desolate canyon. He intended to dispose of her lifeless body, erasing any trace of the monstrous act. However, fate had other plans in store. As Lawrence prepared to carry out this monstrous act, Mary's survival instincts kicked in with a fierce determination. Summoning every ounce of strength she had left, she fought back, refusing to succumb to the darkness. Despite her horrific injuries and excruciating pain, she managed to break free from Lawrence's grip and fled into the vast wilderness. She knew that her life depended on her ability to outwit her captor and find help. The odds were stacked against her. She was naked, bleeding, and severely disfigured, but her spirit burned with an indomitable spirit. In an incredible stroke of luck and her unwavering determination, Mary was discovered by a compassionate couple on their way to vacation. They quickly rushed her to the nearest hospital, where she underwent multiple surgeries and received prosthetic arms. As Mary fought to heal, the authorities intensified their search for Lawrence Singleton. With Mary's description and the collected forensic evidence, Singleton's guilt became indisputable. Seeking justice, Mary's brave testimony. He was promptly arrested, and Mary bravely testified against him during the trial, reliving the horrific events she endured. During the trial, Singleton attempted to distort the truth, weaving a web of lies in a feeble attempt to portray himself as the victim. Singleton was found guilty and sentenced to the maximum term of 14 years. While the sentence may have seemed insufficient, given the severity of his crimes, Mary's ordeal sparked public outrage and led to the passing of the Singleton Bill in California, which toughened sentencing rules for crime involving torture and allowed for longer prison terms. So let's wrap up this story of Mary Vinson and Lawrence Singleton. After enduring the unimaginable, Mary embarked on a journey to heal and rebuild her life. It wasn't an easy road though. The attack left her with deep physical and emotional wounds. But guess what? She refused to let the darkness consume her. No way. Mary bravely shared her story, spreading awareness about violence against women and fighting for the rights of survivors. And you know what? Her strength and determination turned her trauma into a force of change. Talk about inspiring. It's unfortunate that we often come across monsters like Lawrence Singleton, and it breaks our hearts to witness innocence being crushed. As part of this society, it's essential for us to stay informed about what's happening around us. If you're interested in learning more about stories like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to like the video. Believe us, it'll take a nanosecond.